Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. It is time for another palette ranking. I usually do these in 10 palette increments, but yet again, a lot of releases happened really fast. It kind of got away from me, so we're doing 12 today. This is always so much fun for me to do. I love kind of recapping things that I've used, really put in perspective what I'm preferring more than others for whatever reason. And I always love hearing your thoughts. You guys seem to love these videos, so I will do them until the end of time. I love hearing your thoughts on these palettes. I love knowing if you've purchased any of these yourself. Do you want any of them? All that fun stuff. I initially got this video idea from Annette's Makeup Corner. I'll have her channel linked down below for you. And of course, I did film this look. It should already be on my Instagram and YouTube shorts by the time this video goes up. And as far as my accessories today go, unfortunately, I don't really have a whole lot of info. This is just an old basic choker, and these earrings were a gift, so. With all that being said, let's just hop in to the ranking. This was such a tough ranking. I know I say this every time, but I've gotten just really picky with what I'm willing to try. I don't try things with the intention of not liking it. I try things that I genuinely think I am gonna like. So then when these rankings come around, it's really hard to even put things on the bottom because I don't wanna put things in the bottom because they were all good. But as far as things go, there were things I preferred more than others. So something had to be in the bottom, something had to be in the top, a lot of things had to be in the middle. And that's just the way it goes. And as always, in case you think I am forgetting something, I can assure you I am not. I keep very thorough notes all the time as I'm acquiring palettes and testing things out. If you think I'm forgetting something, it was either in the last ranking, I haven't used it yet and it'll be in the next ranking, or I simply don't have it and you're mistaken. So without further ado, let's just hop in, kick it off with number 12. Again, it hurts to put this as number 12 because I really don't think this is a bad palette. I think this brand has been doing better and better with every release. I love seeing how they're growing and how they're evolving and improving. And I don't want this to be in the bottom of this ranking, but this was just a really good roundup of palettes, so something has to be here. But rest assured, I am really impressed with this palette. I think it's gorgeous. I just vibe with everything else for various reasons that I'll get into. Number 12 is Dede Signature's Sweet Aesthetics palette. This is their new matte formula, which is gorgeous. And this is just a fun, colorful, punchy, all matte palette. This is stunning. I love the different colors in here. I love that there's like funky undertones, like it's not just a traditional rainbow, and the matte formula really has improved. I've always liked their mattes, but this does feel like a step up. I just love seeing a brand improving and evolving. It makes me happy. The only reason this one ended up being in the bottom is just because it, at the end of the day, is just a colorful all matte palette, and that's just not the first thing I personally gravitate towards. I love sparkle, I love shimmer. As nice as this formula is, I just prefer some sparkle in my life. So this one just kind of made its way to the bottom just because preference-wise, I prefer things that have a little more pizzazz going on, and also more of just like a specific curated color story rather than just like colorful rainbowy kind of vibes. Moving on now to number 11, and it's gonna be similar thoughts, but in a different way. And again, I'm so impressed with this palette. I've loved what I've created with this. I think it is so fun. And by the way, I've done looks with all of these palettes, a lot of the times multiple looks. You can just check like my Instagram, YouTube shorts, all that stuff if you wanna see inspo. But number 11 is my other Dede Signature palette. I totally did not intend to put them both in the bottom. And again, I love them. I just like everything else more. But this is the Chromebook Volume 1. I also really like the sleek, minimalistic vibe with the packaging. I think that's really nice. But it is a 15 pan all duochrome palette. Look how pretty all these shimmers are. All the sparkly good things. This is so much fun, and I feel like this would be the most beautiful companion with the Sweet Aesthetics. If I haven't already posted my look pairing these two together on Instagram and YouTube shorts, it will be coming soon, so just stay tuned for that. But this is so pretty. I love all the shifts. I love all the sparkles. These formulas are gorgeous. Again, I feel like they just keep stepping it up more and more, and I love seeing how this brand is growing. But at the end of the day, an all duochrome palette just isn't the first thing I'm reaching for. Again, I prefer very curated color stories, really specific themes. And do I think this is beautiful and would pull in greatly to pair with other things? Absolutely. I even used it all by itself in a recent 3 looks 3 palettes video, but everything else just has more of that niche specific color story that I'm craving. So that's why this one ended up here. But again, I think both of these Dede Signature palettes are beautiful. And I'm just really excited to see how the brand continues to grow. Moving on now to number 10, I'm giving it to my What's Up Beauty Dragon Eye palette. I'm a little late to the game on this one, but I recently acquired it. and I am so impressed with it. It is so beautiful. These shimmers are so sparkly and wet looking on the eyes, and the mattes just blend so beautifully. I love the different colors. It's kind of like a little bit of a muted grungy take on like typical dragon colors, like those jewel tones, but it's even more like muted and dusty. It is just really cool. I think you can do really cool color combos with this. I've been really happy with the looks I've created with it, and I've really been enjoying it. I actually thought this was going to get ranked a little bit higher, but as it stands, the things going forward, I just have brands and formulas that are tried and true favorites, color stories that fuel my soul. So this one didn't quite make it up as high as I maybe thought it would. It might end up being fairly high in the overall ranking for the year. That will come as we progress. I did a full like first third of the year ranking, and I'll do another like once we get 2/3 of the way through the year. So I guess toward the end of August there'll be another big ranking, so stay tuned, and then of course the grand one at the end of the year. But for this one specifically, everything else just kind of beat it out, but I've had a blast with this one. It's so cute. Moving on to number 9, I'm giving it to the Nomad Cosmetics Keys Beachy and Peachy palette. This is based on the Florida Keys. It is super fun. I love how it's very like rich, like reds, purples, blues, and then we have almost like citrusy melon sort of vibes on this side. It's so fun. I like these contrasting vibes. I think it's colorful, punchy, very much summer beachy. I think it's a lot of fun. I love Nomad's formulas. I love their mattes. They're so easy to blend and just so buildable and easy and just so beginner friendly, but they're also wonderful if you're very used to makeup. Like they have such great pigmentation, and they're beautiful. And then the shimmers in this palette specifically are so shiny and metallic on the eyes. It is gorgeous, and I love Nomad. They're one of my absolute favorite brands, but just like as much as I love these splashes of color, I'm not like a big like summertime kind of girl. So some of these other like color stories and themes just spoke to me more, but I do think this is really fun. I think it's really pretty. I'm always excited for a new Nomad launch, and they've already been teasing that as usual they're gonna stick with the like autumnal and spooky season palette, so I'm very excited to see what they have in the works this year. I need it already. Moving on now to number 8, I'm giving it to my Unearthly Cosmetics High Temp palette. I think this is so pretty. I really like how it's very obviously warm. High temp is the vibe, but I like that we have these brilliant like neon-y red, orange, yellows, but then we have the more muted dusty mauves at the bottom. I think it's a really cool contrast of tones, and the shimmers that are on the corners here, so pretty. Their shimmers have just gotten so good in the last like year and a half. They are so just rich and metallic, and they have the prettiest sparkle up close, and these mattes are just gorgeous. They blend so nicely. They are so pigmented, so beautiful. I've really had a great time with this one, and again, it's similar to the Nomad one. I really like this palette, really like these formulas. I love this brand, but everything else just kind of spoke to me a little bit more, so that's kind of where this one lands. I really enjoy it, but everything else just is more my vibe. Moving on now to number 7, giving it to my Peach Perfect palette from Gourmet Girls. I'm actually wearing it today. I went with like very grungy vibes that this palette can offer, and it's just so pretty. I love these bright peachy oranges, the greens, the dusty sagey tones, the teals. It is such a fun conglomeration of colors. I love the contrasty nature. I love how it's such a specific theme and it was executed so well. There is so much you can do with this. You can go very bright and colorful, but you can also go so muted and grungy. I like that you can really pair the two tones together, or you can play with them separately. I just love a theme, and this was done so well. I think this is beautiful. I love Gourmet Girls formulas. They are so gorgeous. Like the shimmers are so glossy looking, and the mattes just blend so well. I love this. This is such a fun release. This might be my favorite release they've done that aren't the Halloween palettes they've done with Doodles by the Bunny. And this was actually also designed by Doodles by the Bunny. It's not a collab, but she did do the design work, and it's just so cool. I love it. Moving on now to the top 6, getting into the top half of this ranking. I was so certain what the top half was gonna be before I even sat down to organize my thoughts on these palettes. It was just a no-brainer on what was gonna make it into the top 6. I gave number 6 to my Flying Fiddles palette from Adept. I recently made an Adept purchase, I don't know, about a month ago at this point, and I ordered 2 palettes that had been on my wish list for a while, and I finally went around to getting them, and the Flying Fiddles was one of them. Love this lacy detail. It's so pretty. And then the inside is just a grungy dream. It's very much like I don't even want to call it neutrals because it's not just like fully neutral. It's just like grungy, earthy vibes. That's probably my best description of it for how I interpret it. So many beautiful multi-chromes, so many sparkly, yummy things. Obviously, Adept's, like the shimmers are where things shine the most, but I do like their mattes as well. I feel like they have a really nice like pigmentation. They blend nicely. I would like to see more mattes in their palettes, like even just like 2 to 3 more mattes, like give me at least like 6 or 7. I think that would be a really good ratio, but their shimmers are gorgeous. Like I can't deny that either. I'm so happy with all of them. I'm really happy I purchased this. I think it's so like earthy, grungy glam. It's so sparkly and just, oh, it's beautiful. I love Adept's formulas. I've only tried a few things here and there from them, but I've really been impressed with what I've tried. And this is a great new addition to my collection. The top 5, I just love more. So that's why this one ended up there, but let's move on to number 5. I gave the number 5 slot to the new Soulmane 2 Moonwish palette from Odin Eye. They kind of expanded their Soulmane 2 collection that they came out with a while ago, and they added the Moonwish palette, and it is so pretty. I love that it's very much like, yes, blues and purples, but there's also those sprinkles of warmth. I love the pops of like yellows and golds mixed in with these blues and purples. I think it is so aesthetically pleasing. It's giving like galaxy with stars sprinkled in. It is so cool. I just love Odin Eye with my whole heart. You guys already know that. I love their mattes. I think they're so just beautiful and easy to work with. And then the shimmers are so sparkly and so delicious. So many pretty tones, so many pretty shifts. I just love this brand with my entire being, and I'm so happy to see a new palette from them. I was not expecting this, and when they'd emailed me that this collection was coming, I was so stoked because I didn't know there would be like more to the Soulmane 2 line, but this is a fun little addition. Ooh, moving on now to number 4, the ultimate favorites. Like these 4 are good. Like these are it. These are top tier, like 5-star palettes. They're so good. Number 4 is my other Adept Cosmetics purchase. This is the Cyborg Choir. It is just so stunning. I actually took this with me when I went to New York. I brought this with my Amy Loves Makeup Adept palette, and it's gorgeous. I played with this so many times now. I love that we have an extra matte in here. We actually have 5 in this palette, and I like that we have a range between like dark and then pops of like playful pastel, and then all of these beautiful shifty like hollow chromes and multi-chromes. You can really see the hollows so well when you wear them on your eyes too. Like some hollow chromes I feel like can pull just very silver, but these actually have like rainbow reflex when the light hits it. It is so pretty, just so outstanding. I'm so glad I bought myself this palette. It is insane. I actually like predicted before it even arrived that this would be ranked number 1 in this ranking. The other 3 just spoke to me a little bit more. So this one didn't quite make it to number 1, but it is still very loved. I'm so thrilled with this. Moving on now to the top 3. Number 3, I'm giving to the Cool Trolls palette from Cosmic Brushes. They recently did a little 2 palette launch, and I am so excited about them. I was so curious what the nude trolls and cool trolls were gonna be. I was so worried they'd be a little basic for my taste. Like if that's your taste, that's great. Not my taste. But these blew me out of the water. These were so much fun and so innovative, and I don't know why I even doubted this brand because they're one of my absolute favorites. I feel like they've put out nothing but killer color stories, and these are no different. Cool Trolls looks like this. It is just a cool toned lover's dream. It's definitely majority cool toned colors, but we do have a sprinkle of cool tone neutrals in here as well that you can kind of pair with other things, do little half neutral, half colorful looks, or just go all in on the color. The shimmers and multi-chromes that are in here are so good. Their formulas are so smooth on the eyes, and their mattes are incredible. Like one of my favorite matte formulas of all time. They're just so rich and buttery, and I just feel so creative and beautiful when I play with Cosmic Brushes palettes, and this one makes me so happy. I love cool tones. I'm such a cool toned lover, so it was actually surprising that the nude trolls obviously beat this one out because I haven't talked about it yet in this video, but I love this. I think it is so good. Cosmic Brushes never misses. Number 2, I gave to the Nude Trolls palette. And again, I'm as surprised as you that the one that's the Nude Trolls versus the Cool Trolls won for me, because I'm typically always gonna go for like cool tones. It's just my favorite thing. But this Nude Trolls palette just stole my breath away. It is very much like grungy, earthy, sort of deserty tones. I love that it's kind of a play on like neutrals, but it's also got like the neutral tones of colorful shades as well. Like we have these mustardy yellows, the like olivey greens, the mid-tone purples. It is so good. I love the way these play together. Again, the beautiful multi-chromes and shimmers, like this one and this one specifically, steal my breath away. The mattes are insane. Again, we have kind of a little sprinkle of traditional neutrals as well amidst all of these more grungy, colorful tones. I just love it. This makes my heart so happy. It's gonna be in my fall favorites. I can feel it now. And this is just everything. I love it. I was so astounded because I was worried this was just gonna be like 20 shades of beige, and I was so proven wrong. And last but not least, ranked number 1, as soon as this palette got revealed, before I even had it in my hands, I was like, that is gonna be a new top favorite. And it is the Longing palette from Blend Bunny, their newest launch. It is beautiful. It's a little bit of a smaller palette for them. This one's 24 shades as opposed to like closer to 30. And this is just everything. It is giving like whimsical tea party vibes. It is so cool. I love the different like dusty teals, the muted purples, these like slate bluish grays, these weird dingy like brownie mustards. It's everything. Again, I love cool tones. I'm a broken record. And this is just so gorgeous. It's romantic, but grungy. It's beautiful and weird and wonderful. And I love Blend Bunny. They are one of my top favorite brands. I actually recently did a Blend Bunny palette ranking. So if you want to see me rank all of my Blend Bunny palettes, go check that video out. Slight spoiler alert, this was ranked very highly amongst all of my Blend Bunny palettes. I've been loving this. I love the shimmers. They are so just sparkly, magical, twinkly. They are just beautiful. And the mattes are so good. Like their matte formula is so top tier. They make it such a no-brainer, especially if you're a beginner, where there's the easy gradient where you can blend with no problem. But even if you're someone like me, it makes me feel so creative. I have all these different tones of depth. I love having depth in a palette, and I know I can always get that with Blend Bunny. So this was my number 1 pick for this roundup, and I stand by it wholeheartedly. And that about wraps that up. I would love to hear your thoughts. What are you thinking? Do you agree with my ranking? Would you have moved things around based on your preferences? Have you tried any of these? Do you want any of these? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me your last 12 most recently used emojis, since I ranked 12 palettes in this video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. Also, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. And if you want to, you can join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. You'll get fun little perks, including a members only video once a month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.